When I was a kid, I had just no idea. I was comfortable with a future unclear, had a stable home and teachers who cared. There was no virus lurking, no need to be scared. I navigated my school years still bereft of a clue, but I chose to teach. At least I'd seen what to do. You stand in a class and you help some kids learn. The pay's not much chop, but it's fun while you earn. Also, I thought, then this year rolled around and what we thought was teaching was turned upside down. It still has to happen, but we're taking your tools. And if you don't get it right, we'll call you all fools. If you took the knives from a butcher, you'd not ask for bacon. The thought of losing our phone email leaves most of us shaken. You'd not steal the oven and expect the baker to bake, but your kids need to learn. Their future's at stake. And so our country's teachers set out on a quest. To fail's not an option, and neither's to rest. How do you do teaching without places to teach? It sounds so absurd, a grotesque overreach. But then they began. And in next to no time, they arranged weeks' worth of learning and put it online. In an instant, they actually redesigned schooling, but we doubted them. Who the fuck were we fooling? It's not even their time. This isn't their fight. They're not doctors, not nurses, not pollies, all right? They just teach our kids and they love them to boot. Perhaps a little less after the 100th jack you're on mute. And parents, you're there looking over your kid's shoulder, seeing them manage the screen while their coffee gets colder. Behind the curtain of learning, you've had a wee peek. And I say if you complain now, then you've got a cheek. Because I've seen your posts on the socials online about whether 9 a.m.'s too early for wine, about how WebEx and Zoom and Microsoft Teams have made nightmares of what once were your sweetest of dreams. You've bemoaned your loneliness at learning remote, but there's one thing I hope you remember to note. You've not been alone, you precious parenting creature, for you've had the help of a hero called teacher. Now that you know how committed they are, now that you've felt what it's like from afar, can I ask a favour, old mate, my good cob? Could you start to support them and let them do their job? When the kids all return and you've got your life back, could you resist the urge to complain and attack? Could you remember that teachers already do plenty? Could you recall what they did as we copped 2020? I'm no butcher or baker, but I like what they're given. Without sausage rolls, I'm not sure life's worth living. But to walk in and scream because I want more seasoning would be just rude and lacking in good sense and reasoning. Instead, I say thanks and accept the offer of sauce. We both smile because we both win when we both stick the course. The best always happens when we do things together, even in times of lockdowns. Now that's stormy weather. That we're conditioned for conflict by a current affair is weird because our goal is a goal that we share to help them learn and to grow and improve, not to worsen, and perhaps hit the world as a half-decent person. When I was a kid, I had just no idea that teaching in schools would become my career. That I love our teachers is no shy confession. It's the noblest pursuit, the grandest profession. They say nation building is highways and mines, but without educated people, it's a big waste of time. We know that this year's been as bad as it could be, but our teachers will help our kids catch up, you'll see. Teaching is empathy, it's responding to need. It's not about at which level you currently read. Whatever they need, whether sister or brother, our teachers will help every kid to catch up, to recover. Teaching is patience, an uncertain wonder. It's planting acorns for trees that you'll never sit under. There's no job to compare with. It's just not the same. Because when you build a citizen, you play a long game. You can love them or hate them, but I reckon the former, for they'll mend our kids' hearts and their minds of this trauma. Victoria's teachers breathe deep, because you know. And I'd hate to remind you, there's still one term to go.